give you a little intro after the opening.
Great. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. How beautiful and good it is that we can be together on this Shabbat after a beautiful day like today. We're going to sing a couple of different melodies. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Here's another melody that I think you guys know. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. It is good to be back together once again to end our week, to enter into Shabbat. It is truly an honor to welcome Cantor Marcy Jonas to our Bima. While Cantor Jonas is new to the Temple Beth David Bima, she is not new to the Bima in the general greater Boston area, as she's been a cantor in our area, serving many different synagogues, and currently serving on faculty at Hebrew College in the cantorial program. So we are going to be focusing on music tonight. We're going to be doing a lot of singing, and hopefully you'll join us. And again, hopefully you'll learn some new melodies. I'm looking forward to learning some new melodies and getting to know Cantor Jonas as well. We are poised in election season, and perhaps that is a stressful time for some of us. So just want to acknowledge that going on in our world, in our lives, whether in Israel or here in the States, carrying a lot on our minds probably at this time. And just want to invite us again to take a breath, to pause, to celebrate Shabbat, to count the blessings in our lives as we do each week. Welcome to those joining us from home as well. And we're going to bring in the light of Shabbat on pages 2 and 3. Honored to invite Allison and Jeff Popper to light our Shabbat candles this evening. And thank you, Brandon, for live streaming. Again, we're on pages 2 and 3. Mm-hmm.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And we're going to take a little time to celebrate creation with the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat, of welcoming Shabbat. We're on pages 12 and 13 as we'll sing Psalm 95 and Psalm 96.
Lechu nirranena l'Adonai, nariya litzur yishenu. Nikad mafana b'toda bizmirot, nariya lo. Adonai, Yir Hadash, Yir Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Yir Adonai, Yir Hadash, Yir Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Yir Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Astum Yom Liyom. That's the whole piece, that's the whole psalm. Not the whole psalm, that's the part we're going to sing. Try singing it with me, we're going to sing it through a couple of times. Yirul Adonai, Yirul Shir Hadash, Yirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Yirul Adonai, Yirul Shir Hadash, Yirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Yirul Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Astum Miyom Liyom, Yeshuato, Yirul Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Astum Miyom Liyom, Yeshuato. Last time, Yirul Adonai, Yirul Shir Hadash, Yirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Yirul Adonai, Yirul Shir Hadash, Yirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz.
Perhaps that was a new melody for Sing Unto God, a new song. We're going to continue with Lecha Dodi, welcoming the Shabbat bride on page 20, as we'll join in verses 1, 2, 5, and 9 on the last verse. If you'd like to rise and face our doors and to bring in Shabbat.
Adodi likrat kala yalana 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 yinei Shabbat yekabela. Adodi likrat kala yalana 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 yinei Shabbat yekabela. Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Shabbat Ekavila Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Shabbat Ekavila Likrat Shabbat Efunecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai alalai Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Shabbat Ekavila Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Shabbat Ekavila Boi v'shalom Ateret Hagam
Standing and turn to page 26 for Chatzi Kaddish, which will guide us into our call to prayer.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba Amen Divrach Yerutei v'yamlich machotei B'chayechon u'v'yom echon U'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael Bagala Uvizman Kariv Vaymeru Amen Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Lomei Omaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach Vidbar vidromam vidnaseh V'yitadar v'yitaleh Shemei dekudesha barichu V'yehilah min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran bi'alma Vaymeru Amen.
We begin with words in English that call us into this moment.
La 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 la
together our blessing for creation on the bottom of page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzivot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Amari Varavim.
We sing together of God's love, Ahavat Olam, page 32.
Ahavat Olam, et Yisrael, Torah u'mitzvot, u'ki u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochenu, kumenu nasyach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. יהם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, נגע יומם ולילה. ואהבתך תעשי ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. אוהב עמו Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We'll continue on page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham b'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha b'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Let's join on page 39, especially in our fractured world, a reminder of walking together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40.
This melody of Hamocha has a section which is a call and response. When we get there, I'll gesture to you as to respond to what I'm saying. Starts off with an ego. You get the melody a little. Lai, 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 lai.
Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. We'll join in our prayer for shelter and safety. Hashkivenu as we overlay English with Hebrew on page 43.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship Ashkiveinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ashkiveinu, Shalom, Lehamidenu, Nomreinu Lechayim, Ufrosaleinu, Achomecha, Ashkiveinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ashkiveinu,
Baruch atah Adonai hapore sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Continue with our Shabbat celebration on page 44. Reminder that God rested, and so too we get to.
Oti leolam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashavat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם.
Turn now to page 46 as we enter our tefillah, our central prayer. I invite you to rise if you are able. We'll begin together in the Hebrew and pause to add prayers from our hearts as well.
Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu
Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geola Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol Atah Rav v'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha b'gevurot, Umido melech, Melech memid umechayeh, Umatzliach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lahayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh shimcha kadosh, U'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. We'll continue silently, and please feel free to be seated. When you're ready, we'll come back together for the prayer for peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Hasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Hasim Leolam. Ki atah melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Hasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Hasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha נשיא לעולם.
We turn now to page 253 as we take this moment to acknowledge healing, especially to loved ones who are ill, as we pray for their physical, mental, emotional strength and healing. We are especially praying for these members of our community: Colin Monroe, Elizabeth Hill, Enrico Mascaro, Benjamin Horowitz, Bradley Dichter, Matteo Goldman, Toby Weiner, Esya Rushavskaya, Eileen Arnone, Deborah Booker, Jean Sands, Roseanne Cohen, Tom Fiorino, Carolyn Weil, Stephen Driscoll, Richard Slifka, Jerry Spingarn, Caroline Spingarn, Beth Gottlieb, Kirby Druffel, Ida Kublin, Abraham Ben Chana Levi, Helen Bat Eli, Shoshana Bat Helen, Gloria Weller, Rivka Bat Aliza, Yitzchak Ben Esther Miriam, Carol Kotler, Myrna Offen, Arnold Offen. If there are other names that you are praying for this evening, you may share them with us. Shabbat Shalom. So all of you here did not know me when I was pregnant with twins. But at that time in my life, I learned of a website called doubleblessings.com. Doubleblessings.com. At the time, still reeling from the shock of impending twins, the website's merchandise and messaging helped me to gain some perspective. Life is a blessing, and twins are double. The early parts of the Torah are filled with blessings and curses. The last 2 weeks in the first 2 parashas, or portions, God does all of the blessing. God blesses the animals, humans, and the 7th day. God started with a world of blessing, but the blessings soon seem to become a bit unraveled. The earth, along with its first humans, are cursed. God tries again with Noah. As the world comes into being, it is through blessings that humans learn how to be or not to be in the world. In this week's Torah portion, Lech Lecha, the notion of blessing becomes expanded even more. Blessing is no longer something that comes only from God to people. Rather, we start to see people blessing God and people blessing other people. Through Abraham, we learn not only what it means to bless, but also how to be a blessing. In the first 3 verses of this portion, the word bracha, or blessing, appears 5 times. You can count them with me. The Eternal One said to Avram, Lech lecha, go forth from your land, your birthplace, your father's house, to the land that I will show you. I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. Through you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. 5 times in the opening verses. Many of us are, of course, familiar with Jewish blessings. They all start with the same 6 words, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe. And those opening words are followed by a specific action. For example, lighting the Shabbat candles, lahadlik ner shel Shabbat, creator of the fruit of the vine, borei pri hagafen, and for bread, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. While these words may sound familiar, how many of us are in regular practice of saying blessings or understanding why we say them? As some of you know, here at Temple Beth David, we have a regular weekly Talmud class that has been meeting now for 5 years. A couple weeks ago, we started chapter 6 of the first tractate of the Talmud called Brachot, or blessings. While much of this tractate is not actually about blessings, because the Talmud can go off in a lot of directions and tangents, this particular section that we've been studying for a few weeks is focused on these simple one-line blessings. In their striving to say at least 100 blessings a day, the rabbis created many blessings for every act of life. This section that we're studying especially focuses on food. Recognizing that eating is a most basic and necessary act, the rabbis made sure that we humans would not take our sources of sustenance for granted. They taught with regard to food and other things, one is forbidden to derive benefit from this world without blessing. They equated deriving benefit without a blessing to stealing from God. Well, in true Talmudic fashion, just yesterday, a spirited debate emerged during our class down in the library. And I think about half of you in this room were there. So thank you. The question on the table yesterday was, are blessings for God or are blessings for people? In other words, why should we engage in the act of blessing? Does God need our blessings? Do we? After much back and forth, we agreed that it is both, with perhaps a few more in the room who came down on the side of people. Like God's commandment to Abraham, God needs people to bring forth God's blessings. And we humans can live lives filled with greater purpose and meaning when we are aware of and take a moment to acknowledge our blessings. The act of blessing can bring a heightened sense of holiness into our lives. By the way, this was all the commentary from Temple Beth David members, adding to the Talmud. I'll add one more commentary, which is if the traditional words of blessing don't work for you, you can always try something more spontaneous, like, way to go, God, amazing sunset. There is a story told of a rabbi and his disciples who were sitting together and eating apples. They recited the blessing that you say before eating fruit, borei pri ha'etz, and they then took a bite of their apples. The rabbi asked his students, "Do you know the difference between you and me?" His students were silent. The rabbi said, "You recite the blessing so that you can eat your apple. I am struck with wonder and gratitude by the majesty of creation all around. I eat the apple so that I can recite the blessing that praises the greatness of God. Just saying the words or going through the motions is not the point of blessing either. To be a blessing is to channel our own divine ability to create and to share goodness and light with others. God's summon to Abraham thousands of years ago to be a blessing is ultimately addressed to each and every one of his descendants, especially during these anxious days of gaining darkness, lingering pandemic, elections, and political upheaval. Lech Lecha calls upon us once more to ask ourselves every day, what are my blessings and how can I be a blessing to others today? Shabbat Shalom. We'd like to take advantage of music tonight and add, you all know the song, add the words from this week's Torah portion made well known by the composer Debbie Friedman. You can find the words on page 341 in the back of our prayer books as we again sing this reminder of being a blessing.
To a land that I will show you. Lech Lecha, to a place you do not know. Lech on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechilach. Lechilach. And I shall make your name great. Lech Lecha. And all shall praise your name. To the place that I will show you. The Simchat Chaim, the Simchat Chaim, the Simchat Chaim, Lechilach. And you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing.
What a blessing to have Cantor Marcy Jonas here with us tonight. Thank you so much. It's amazing it's your first time. It seems like you've been here for years, and thank you all for adding your voices as well. I forgot to mention Cantor Jonas, of course, knows Cantor Louise Treitman through Hebrew College, and another Beth David connection. Cantor Jonas is one of Julia Sabra's teachers who was with us during the High Holy Days. So as I like to say, it all comes back down to Beth David. You can continue to celebrate Shabbat tomorrow morning. Our Leilad Minyan is being held at the home of the Atkins, so do not come to Temple. We are also now on B'nai Mitzvah pause after many weeks, so next Shabbat morning will be a community Shabbat service here led by me and Rabbi Micah with Torah readings, so you can join us for that. Next Friday night, Michael McLaughlin will be joining us for music on piano, and look in your weekly shofar because one other Shabbat ahead, November 18th, we are bringing back Shabbat dinner. There's going to be eating spaced out with different options and services for all. So you do need to sign up for dinner. And Rabbi Micah will be back that week as well. So lots of Shabbat celebration to come. read your weekly shofar for everything else. Brotherhood programs coming up, sisterhood as well. This Wednesday evening, which is Kristallnacht, I'll just mention we are going to have a brief memorial here that Avi Glazer is leading and organizing. It will be from 7:30 to 8 o'clock. So those with double high teens, there's going to be some overlap there. Just a moment to remember, and also kind of joining a national initiative of keeping a light on. Sorry, Fred Davis, one light. We're limiting this, but in memory throughout the night. So, and thank you, Connie Rizzoli, for also helping to organize. Last thing I'll just say, because I know many of you don't have kids in our Shorshim religious school, but you're welcome to come this Sunday in honor of last week's Torah portion. We are having a live biblical zoo at Temple Beth David, 10:30 to 12, petting zoo. The good news is, this is especially for our lay leaders, if it was raining, this was actually going to move to the social hall with tarps, but it's not, because it's like, summer here in New England. So the animals will be out back, making the biblical connection to caring for all creatures. That is this Sunday. We're going to leave it at that and move into, Brandon Popper, yes? That's right, a youth group event as well. So busy month of November. I do want to, before we move into our concluding songs, just especially thank Mark Beal, who hosted this evening's Oneg in honor of his parents, Herman and Phyllis Beal. Unfortunately, Mark has COVID, so he couldn't be here, but he did not touch any of the food. It was dropped off. Thank you to our volunteers for setting it out. I hope he's watching, but those of you who know Mark Beal's Onegs, he went above and beyond, as always. I think some special foods from Italy, I'm guessing. It looks amazing. So he really asked if you would all give him the honor of partaking, and hopefully he will be back soon. We are opening up with No B'nai Mitzvah the opportunity to host and sponsor Oneg. So actually next Friday, we have a baby naming here, so the family will be hosting, but opportunities to host in memory of a loved one, in honor and appreciation. So you can look in your email if you would like to sponsor an Oneg Shabbat. We are going to move into our concluding prayers. You can find Aleinu L'Shabeach on page 282. If you're able, we rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו גויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We turn now to page 294 as we take this moment for memory. Another reference to blessing. When we remember a loved one, we say Zichronam Livracha, may their memory be for a blessing. As we think about our loved ones, we think about the ways their memory continues to bless our lives. We are especially remembering these members of our temple community and family who have passed away in recent days. We remember Richard Dick Usen, husband of Judy, stepfather of Dara Bordeaux, along with Matt Bordeaux, and grandfather of Julie and Jessica. We remember David Johnson, brother-in-law of Linda and Tim Holliner, uncle of Sharon and Diana. And we remember these loved ones whose yahrzeit, whose anniversary of death occurred this week. Herbert Bloom, Arnold Cohen, Vivian Lerner, Harry Noah, Celia Rosenberg, Saul Rutstein, Diane Scarfo, David Schreiber, Sarah Shore, Stephen Solomon, Benjamin Wax. If there are other names you are remembering, you may share them with us. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabam be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'gala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabam mevorach leolam ulamei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. We're going to bless in here and then conclude our service, and you're welcome to join in the social hall. Cantor Jonas, would you lead us in Kiddush?
Sure. Absolutely. Thank you. I'm on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho B'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemahaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikrae kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta Ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim.
We have an international challah tonight. I don't know, it says International Natural Bakery. Okay, we'll bring it out. Let's bless. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom. We are going to continue with words of peace and conclude. Thank you as well to our ushers and greeters. And we'll join in our social hall after Oseh Shalom.
Or Hine Matov. Hine Matov u'manayim nam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim nam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim nam yachad.
Shalom.